little history about the Erie Canal. It all started back in 1808 when it was proposed to connect the Western Territories to the east via a waterway. Starting at the Hudson River in Albany, New York, headed west to Lake Erie in Buffalo, New York. This canal covered over 363 miles. It traveled through 83 locks and over 18 aqueducts, and it covered a terrain that raised more than 568 feet. As you head west, you'll notice that all the major cities in New York are located within 25 miles of the canal. Now, lock number 1 is federally owned and off limits to the general public. So our journey will begin here at lock number 2. With a starting water level of 15 feet, upstream rises to 48 feet. So we have over a 33-foot rise in this lock. Now this is how a lock works. The gates open, a boat enters the lock. The gates close behind it. The water is then allowed to flow in or out to increase or decrease the water level. Once the water level is equal to the exiting direction of the canal, the exiting door is opened and the boat exits the lock. Now right here, this is going to be a gear that opens the door. That's a big door right there. Now the Erie Canal is used for shipping. Where a mule could carry an 1/8 ton, 250 pounds, boats could carry 30 tons. Compared to a 2-week trip, the canal made it where you could do it in a 2-day trip. Now it took $7 million to construct the Erie Canal, and with its instant success, paid for itself within 9 years through the tolls collected. Some would call it a marvel of engineering, an 8th wonder of the world. But business was so good, the locks were enlarged in 1836 to 1862, from 40 feet to 70 feet wide, from 4 feet deep to 7 feet deep, and boats could now carry 240 tons. This portion of the part of the old canal that is no longer used, next to the canal would be a 10-foot wide tow path for mules, oxen, and horses to pull the boats along the canal. And boys called hoggies would guide the animals down the path. Here at Lock 19, we have another example of a portion of the canal that's no longer in use. With the great success of the canal system, it was once again enlarged in 1903 and dubbed the name the Erie Barge Canal. Finished in 1918, it had a depth of 12 to 14 feet deep with a width of 120 to 200 feet from bank to bank. Now right here, we're about to look at a spot. This is where one of the locked doors would rest when open for travel. As this was the way to ship cargo back in the day, well, the last enlargement made it possible to move up to 3,000 tons of cargo per boat. But with technology and roadways being developed, the canal system was eventually replaced with more modern, cheaper, and faster forms of shipping and transportation. The current day Erie Canal consists of just 36 functioning locks. No longer used to ship cargo, the historic canal system is mostly used for recreational purposes now. With many of the locks being refurbished to working condition, such as lock number 2 that we saw earlier, it's possible to travel the canal system again, just like our ancestors did. So whether you want to enjoy a nice cruise down the old historic canal system, or go for a hike along the towpath, come and enjoy New York's historic sights. And if you meet me down on the path, bring your carrot for my mule Sal.